Hello everyone, welcome to this week's weekly market view for Monday the 25th of September to Friday the 29th of September 2023. My name is Vishal. Let's get started. All right, let's start with the Nifty analysis and let's start off with the monthly chart as we do always. So we are seeing a little bit of a profit booking coming in on the monthly chart. This candle is going to be closing in a few days, so it'll be interesting to see how this candle closes. And on the weekly chart also we are seeing a little bit of a pullback coming in. Now, on the 4-hour chart, I want to mark a very, very key level, and we are into this key level. So we will have to see how this level is going to hold. I'm going to mark this this level of demand this way. So you could possibly include the basing candle as well. So let me just mark it like this. Right. So this is where we are in currently right now, and I have completely covered the pivot as well. So 19,493 to 19,615. We have seen a very, very strong corrective move. I'll be a little surprised if Nifty breaks and breaks down lower, although I might say it can happen. But taking into consideration, this can be a nice pullback into an area where the prices had originally broken out and made a new high. So I believe that somewhere or the other, Nifty might find a little bit of a support here. Either it might tend to consolidate or it might start rallying up strongly. The interim barrier for the Nifty is going to be this level of supply, which is 19,900. And if you look at the open interest data, more or less 19,600 is considering to be showing a lot of open interest on the put side. So it's acting as an interim support for the market. And 19,900 is acting as an interim resistance. So there is a possibility that if there is some positivity that kicks in into the market, we might see the markets bouncing from here on and rallying all the way to 19,900. At the current juncture of price action, it's more or less very, very clear from the charts that shorting is not going to be the best thing for any trader to do right now, because we are trading in a higher time frame level of demand. If you look at the 75-minute chart, within the 240-minute level, we see this rally-based rally level as well, nicely structured, right? And in case if the price does pierce this level, we still have this this pivot over here, which could act as a trap where prices could go down, stop out all the potential buyers, and then reverse and take the market to the upside. Okay, so just be careful. Not a good idea to go short now on the Nifty, since price has given a strong pullback and we are trading in a higher time frame level of demand. If you look at the intraday levels, and let's see if we have anything interesting on the intraday chart. So on the intraday chart, if you go to the 15-minute chart, the closest level of supply is definitely this area over here, which is this drop-based drop. And the reason I'm, the rally-based drop. And the reason I'm marking this level is because this was a level which went up to break the high and then reversed and printed a new low. So I believe that there should be some supply here. If the prices doesn't hold on to this area, then obviously the most obvious area of supply is going to be this 19,885 to 19,920. Okay. So let's just wait and watch to see what happens. Let's quickly have a look at Bank Nifty now. And generally both the indices are now in a higher time frame level of demand. Bank Nifty has gone a little bit more deeper inside the level of demand as compared to the Nifty, but we will still have a look at Bank Nifty and analyze it just to understand where we are. Okay, so let's start with the monthly chart. Again, I would say profit booking happening at these high levels. Now we are coming in inside this tested weekly demand. Let's move on to the 4-hour chart. And if you look at the 4-hour chart very, very carefully, we have triggered this 4-hour level of demand. Okay, so now we are seeing a little bit of a bounce coming in as we speak. So not a good idea to go short. And if the bounce is significant, then we might tend to move up towards this supply. or even might move towards this area. Okay, the most obvious area is this gap. So if the markets do show some strength, then we might go to fill this gap first. So just watch out for 45,336. And also today, 44,400 levels is also acting as a support. So any breach below that will induce more bearishness in the Bank Nifty. However, right now Bank Nifty is holding. So let us see whether we see a bounce coming in later in the day somewhere. Okay, on the intraday time frames, let's quickly go to the 15 minutes chart first. Let's remove this level so that it. Okay, so on the 15 minutes, again, very similar to the Nifty, we have this level, which is, you can include this lower level as well. So this is a level on top of level. So first, I think markets will try to target this 44,900, and then we will have to see whether markets are able to hold on to this area. If not, then markets will try and move towards these gaps here eventually. And this is something that we need to watch out for. Okay. Now, usually, if the markets do tend to close in a higher time frame level of demand, and the next day, if you see a potential gap, more or less, then that becomes a pro gap, and then more or less that tells us that it's a point in the market where maybe the shorts have now been completely exhausted, and markets might take a little bit of a reversal. And these reversals tend to be very strong reversals as the market moves to the upside. So just wait and watch and see how the market closes today, and if you do happen to see a gap up tomorrow. Okay, so the close of today is going to be very crucial for the indices. All right, let's move on to the next market, which is the Nifty Financial Services, and let's see where that market is currently trading at. So more or less, you will see the Nifty Financial Services and the Bank Nifty are more or less at key levels of demand. And we'll first look at the monthly chart. Again, no difference. Very similar. Monthly chart is showing this bearishness on the financial services chart as well. Here we have given a strong weekly bearish candle. Now we are into this tested level of demand. And what is more interesting to see, just like the Bank Nifty is in that 4-hour demand level, the Fin Nifty is also reacting to a 4-hour level. So we have the Fin Nifty, the Bank Nifty, and the Nifty all at crucial levels of demand, which more or less is indicating or giving us signs that you should not be shorting this market at the current juncture of prices. Okay. If we move on to the intraday charts, let's go to first to the 75-minute chart. So on the 75-minute chart, we do see a breach. I wouldn't say a breach, but it has gone a little bit more deeper. Yeah, it has actually breached. But you see how the lower level is still holding. And this is the reason why I also included that pivot in Nifty as well. Okay, so there is a possibility that these pivots tend to hold, and these pivots tend to act as traps, which give potential strong reversals in the market. Now, where is the market likely to head? The first most obvious gap is this 20,107 to 20,193. So let us see now if a strong move comes in and these gaps eventually get filled as we go along. All right, so it's going to be an exciting expiry this week, and after all that has happened in terms of the market moving all the way down from nearly printing all-time highs, will be a very interesting scenario to see where and how the markets are going to move in the coming trading sessions. All right, let's quickly have a look at the USD INR. And before I do that, let me just quickly have a look at Sensex as well. So generally, it's a good idea when the markets are pulling all together. We want to see if all the markets are aligning, and that's also good practice to evaluate and form or create a bias before planning or initiating any trade. So let's quickly have a look at Sensex, and let's see whether Sensex is also at some crucial levels. So if you look on the Sensex, very similar to the Nifty, again, this monthly candle is showing a little bit of selling pressure. However, as compared to the Nifty and the Sensex is considerably strong. Right? So if you look at the 4-hour chart, look at how the prices are holding on to this level over here, right? So this is that area that one needs to keep a close watch on. Okay, right? And any breach below 65,492 will probably create more bearishness in the market. So this is going to be a super duper crucial area. This is also the point from where the markets broke and gave a new high. Okay, so this is the origin of the new high. And these areas tend to hold pretty well. What's going to be the next potential level of supply? We do see this area here. So this is going to be an area to watch out for. So very similar levels located, just like how the Nifty, Bank Nifty are located. We are seeing the levels of Sensex also more or less matching with the indices. Okay. Let's move on to the 75 minutes. And on the 75 minutes, also we see this pivot, right? So if you just plot the zone like this, you will see that the pivot is holding. So in fact, it's quite interesting to see that the pivot is has actually the zones have actually breached on the Fin Nifty and the Sensex, but the pivots are holding, right? And because of that, you are also seeing the Nifty and the Bank Nifty also significantly moving up. Again, potential areas of supply are going to be this area here, this and this gap 66,900. Again, being a round number, it's going to make things very, very interesting as we go along. All right, let's move on to the next market now, which is the India VIX. Let's quickly have a look at India VIX. And usually when the markets significantly move down, we see a little bit of a spike in the India VIX. But looking at the way VIX is currently right now is let's check the current levels of the VIX. Yeah, we are at 10.82%, which is considered to be quite low. And as we go along, these levels have been holding pretty well, right? So if you remember, we had plotted this 11.4, 11.57 odd level. And every time the prices come to this 11.4 odd level, the VIX seems to pull down. So this is going to be an area to watch out for on the VIX, 11.4 to 11.57. All right, the next market is going to be the USD INR. So let's go ahead and plot the USD INR chart. And let's mark some key levels. The USD INR chart also more or less gives us good signals on where the market wants to head, right? Because the USD INR and the Nifty are considered to be inversely correlated. Now, as I'm seeing this, it's not always 100%, right? But it at least gives us some kind of a analysis to create or perform a view. Okay. All right. Now, if you look very closely, we are inside this 240-minute supply. And if the market starts to weaken from here, it also means that the Nifty will start to strengthen, right? We have this this gap level here. So the first target for the USD INR will be this gap fill 82.78 to 82.67. And that means also, if we just reverse this chart, it will also be interesting to see that at the same time when the price hits 82.78 on the USD INR, does price hit the Bank Nifty and the Nifty and the Fin Nifty supply levels at the same time. Okay, so that's going to be an interesting level to watch out for in the coming trading sessions. All right, this week we're going to also have a look at the sector. So let's look at the Nifty Mid-cap first. And then we'll just quickly have a look at okay, so we have Mid-cap 50. So let's look at Nifty Mid-cap 50. Let's wait for the charts to load here. All right, so I was looking for the right chart. Now that I have found it, let's talk a little bit about the Nifty Mid-cap Liquid 15. And let's quickly have a look at this sector. So this sector is making an all-time high, and we do see a level of demand on the weekly, which is currently far away. And so this is a level can be tested, but it's a little far away from current market price. If you look at the daily chart now, and if you just look at the current daily chart, we are seeing a little bit of a bounce coming from the daily levels, which is this area over here. So let's go ahead and plot this area here. So this is the second time, and usually when these when price forms a higher low, then more or less this is considered to be a strong reversal um, to the upside, right? So if you go into this 125-minute level, we do have this gap level over here, which seems like has tested once, but we'll just mark that again. And now we are more or less trying to create a strong bullish candle today. Also, for the fact that Nifty and Bank Nifty are also strongly rallying to the upside as we speak right now. So nearly Bank Nifty is 250 points positive from the day's low. It was trading close to 14,400. So we are nearly up 400 points already. And the Nifty also is up nearly 100 points from the day's low. It was 19,600, and now we are 19,725 as we speak. So a pretty decent, strong move to the upside. And this is expected when you are closer to the last week of expiry. Either the shorts are getting covered, and this could be a short covering, or could be a genuine reversal to the upside. Now, if you look at the mid-cap liquid index, we do see a level of supply on the intraday chart here. So let's quickly mark this, because this is the level which is closest to the current market price. And it'll be interesting to see whether this level holds for intraday. There are new levels of demand on the 5-minute chart. For example, you see this area over here, and I'm going to mark this area like this, including the level on top, because the demand is far away, supply is closer. Now let's quickly go and see which are some of the stocks which are also coming into these crucial levels, which are under the Nifty 100 Liquid 15 indices. So first things first, let's look at Bharat Forge, and let us see what Bharat Forge is doing. So Nifty Mid-cap Liquid 15 index is bouncing out of a level of demand, which means that it is ideal to look at stocks which are within this indices, also bouncing out of a level of demand, right? So the one that I have seen today is Bharat Forge. Let me just wait for the charts to load on Bharat Forge. Okay, perfect. Now we see the charts loaded here. So let's quickly go to the 240-minute chart of Bharat Forge and the level that I'm talking about here on Bharat Forge. So this to 240 minutes, 90 days. Perfect. Okay. All right. So here you can clearly see that Bharat Forge has filled this gap today, and it has printed a new high from this level. So more or less, if the markets show strength in due course of time, Bharat Forge will start printing new highs. Okay, so this was a good level to actually plan along. And now that this level has triggered today, we expect to see a more upside on Bharat Forge, closer towards 1140 odd levels. So those can be your potential targets on Bharat Forge. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the analysis based on the feedback last time around, where some of the participants said that, Vishal, why don't you pick up a sector and talk about a specific stock within that sector that could also help us to understand how sector analysis is done. So this week I have covered the Nifty Mid-cap Liquid 15 Index, and within that I have covered Bharat Forge. So I hope you enjoyed the analysis. Do give your valuable comments in the chat box, and if you do like our videos, then hit the subscription button and become a part of the Sharekhan Education YouTube channel to receive more updates from us. Take care, everyone. Have a safe trading week, and see you all next week. Bye-bye.
This should not be treated as a recommendation. Please conduct your own analysis or consult a financial advisor before investing.